Ukraine says it urgently needs advanced tanks, but its allies are divided. The UK says it will send some, but Germany says no. Snow blankets much of southwest Germany and parts of Croatia, causing accidents and traffic snarl-ups on major highways. Greece says it obeyed international law when it prevented over 250,000 migrants from crossing its borders in 2022.
Demonstrators across Israel call for an end to the ruling coalition as the government presses ahead with plans to overhaul the judicial system.
In the eastern Donetsk region, these soldiers are being threatened by Russian tanks. To push them back, they're going to need their own advanced tanks, but Ukraine's allies are divided over whether to supply them. More shells and more cannons are needed. We have enough handguns and grenade launchers, but we lack ammunition. Of course, something heavier like tanks would be good. And inside Germany's coalition government, the Greens are unhappy with Chancellor Scholz's decision not to hand Leopard tanks over. Our partners have made it clear that they're now ready to deliver battle tanks. Germany shouldn't stand alone but should join in this alliance. After several months of an almost frozen conflict in the Zaporizhia region, fighting this week intensified. To show that it's in charge of much of the region, Moscow sent the notorious arms dealer Victor Bout there. Southwest Germany has been blanketed by 20 metres of snow, causing traffic chaos and a number of accidents. In the state of Saarland, roads were particularly affected and some cars skidded into crash barriers. Trucks had trouble getting up the smallest slopes, and when some of them became stuck, the traffic behind them came to a halt too. Many drivers were simply overwhelmed by the conditions. The police reported over 100 accidents. In Croatia, it was a similar story. Some roads had to be closed, including part of the main Rijeka-Zagreb highway. There were also storm-force winds in parts, and both ferry and catamaran services had to be cancelled. In Dubrovnik, snowplows were at work clearing the roads, but fortunately no major accidents were reported. The snow has also raised water levels in some rivers, and dozens of houses were cut off in Sisak-Moslavina County on Saturday. Greece says it's prevented over 250,000 migrants from Turkey crossing the border in 2022. The government insists it's adhered to international law, but if a migrant qualifies for refugee status, they cannot be ruled to have broken the law by crossing a border. Our visit sends a very strong message of solidarity in Europe, unity and determination to protect, to guard the border of Greece with Turkey, which is also the border of the European Union with Turkey. This message is strong. It's a message of application of international law, and I believe that Turkey should receive it. Greece has often been accused by human rights organisations of forcing some migrants back into Turkey. In October, 92 men, who were mostly from Afghanistan and Syria, were found almost naked and bruised at the border.
Tens of thousands of Israelis gathered in Tel Aviv on Saturday for the third consecutive weekend of protests against the government's plans to overhaul the judicial system. Critics of the ruling coalition and the former Premier Yair Lapid say the move could help Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu evade conviction in his ongoing corruption trial. What you can see here today is a demonstration in support of the country, said Yair Lapid. People who love Israel have come here today to defend its democracy, to defend its courts, to defend the idea of coexistence and of common good. The people here who love Israel, who came to demonstrate for a democratic Jewish state according to the values of the Declaration of Independence, will not give up until we win. But the government says a power imbalance has given judges too much sway over lawmaking and governance. Netanyahu has pledged to press on with the changes despite the opposition.